All right, you guys, have you ever considered, especially in the market of the moment that we're in right now, purchasing a for sale by owner home? All right, I'm going to teach you a little real estate lingo. In real estate, as a professional, we call them FSBOs, for sale by owner. Okay, so if you ever hear anybody throwing around FSBO, you'll know what they're talking about. But have you ever considered doing that? There are some benefits and some pretty ginormous pitfalls that I thought I would share with you today. So I'm Katie Evans, owner and lead agent of the Living 48 real estate team, and I want to welcome you back to another one of our video blogs. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're excited to discuss with you just a few thoughts that you might want to consider when you're thinking about buying a for sale by owner or a FSBO, and just start the conversation with you guys there, okay? So in the market that we're in right now, houses are just flying off the market. Like, you list it and it's selling, right? Everybody's looking to buy a house. And so really, what do we need realtors for? What do we need agents for? And so a lot of sellers are choosing to try and save some money by not using a real estate agent, all right? So is that good? Is it bad? I'm gonna let you guys decide, but let me just bring up a few points for you guys. The first thing I'd like you to consider when potentially thinking about purchasing or listing your home as a for sale by owner is the pricing of the property, okay? As a seller, we've lived there, we raised our families there. It holds so much intrinsic value to us that of course we think it's worth more than maybe what the market thinks it is. Same thing for you, buyer. You need to consider, did they actually know what they were doing when they listed this house for sale and priced it? Are you going to be overpaying for a home? So something to consider is pricing and how they went about doing that. One thing I would invite you to say is, if you were buying a house from a for sale by owner, that you ask the seller, how did you come to pricing this house? How did you come to this sale price? I think that's a great, easy question that you can ask. Might give you some insight into where they came up with the number, all right? When you're purchasing a property, especially if you're going to be purchasing it with a loan, your lender will require an appraisal of the property, all right? An appraisal is somebody comes out, determines based on other sales in the area, similar properties, how much the house is really worth and how much they're willing to lend on it. So that is going to be very, very important that you understand that that is going to need to happen. And so if it's not priced appropriately, your lender is not going to lend you the money that you need to purchase that house, and your deal could fall all apart. Now, even in the best of negotiations and the best of purchases with an agent, a deficit between the list price and the negotiated sale price and the appraisal could come in. That is when it's really, really important to know how to negotiate with that. Can you negotiate with that? What do we have to do? Do we have cash to bring to the table? Is the seller willing to reduce the price to the appraised sales price? What is it? But when you do that, you need to make sure that everything is in writing, okay? So your offer needs to be in writing, your negotiations all need to be writing, everything needs to be in writing. Another thing that happens during a real estate deal that you might want to consider are proper disclosures. Now, when you use a real estate agent, the agent is going to, if they're listing your house, help make sure that you have completed and filled out all the proper disclosures that will keep you legally safe, even after the sale of the property, that you need to share with the buyer. If you're buying for sale by owner, do they have the proper disclosures? Do you know what the proper disclosures are to ask for? So those are really, really important things, because, oh my goodness, if something is not disclosed and you come across it later, you could be in a big, big world of hurt. All right, inspections. Inspections typically happen on homes, whether you're paying cash, whatever. Even if you're thinking you're gonna buy it as is, it's really, really important to know what as is you're buying. All right, so inspections will typically cost you somewhere in $4,000, depending on the size of the house, 400, not 4,000, 400 and up. So this is probably going to be the best money that you ever spend, because if you get in there and you find that there's all kinds of problems and this is a money pit, oh my goodness, best 400 spent to walk away from a property that would have cost you thousands upon thousands in future repairs. So again, inspections, who's going to be doing the inspection? What If you find something in inspection, what do you do then? How do you negotiate that? How do you make sure that it gets fixed? Is it worth getting fixed? Are there options besides just having it fixed? All of those are things then that you would need to delve into at that point of the purchase process, okay? I would make sure that you had a laundry list of questions to ask the seller if you were thinking and planning on buying a for sale by owner. So seller, you might want to listen up to these questions because I would suggest that you have answers for them as well. All right, so one of the things that I would ask right out of the gate is, why are you selling? Like, what's your motivation? Are they having financial problems? Are they moving for a job? Are they just kind of trying to take advantage of the market? Like what's up? Because we want to kind of get a feel for how motivated are you to sell? Like, are we going to be able to negotiate, or are you just going to say, nope, it's this way or the highway? And we need to be able to know that so that we know going into that. Just, ask them. You're trying to ascertain who these sellers are. Are they dishonest? Have they sold a lot of houses? Do they know what they're doing? Do they not know what they're doing? Do you feel comfortable with them? Like, all those kinds of things. So in summary, you guys, obviously every home is different. Every purchase is different. Even as a realtor, every single one, while we use systems to get through them, there are always nuances, there are always things, but there are so many things that you need to check into when buying a house. And we want to make sure that you are protected both as the seller and as the buyer. So make sure that you are doing all the due diligence that you need to do. Make sure that you have all the questions answered that you need to have answered, and make sure that you know how to do this legally. All right? If I can be of any assistance to you guys, if you have any other questions, even if you're thinking of selling your home for sale by owner, let me be a resource. I actually do have some guides that I can share with you from one of my favorite title companies. If you are a buyer looking into purchasing a for sale by owner, let's talk about how you can have your own representation as well and make sure that you are safe and represented even if the seller does not want to use agents. All right, we have all those options in play for you. So of course, come chat with me. Best way to get a hold of me is on my cell phone at 480-415-1341, or we always invite you to come over and visit our website. There's tons of resources there as well. And you can check us out there at www.living48realestate.com. Thanks you guys for watching another one of our video blogs, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.